everyone. Welcome to Education 742, Literacy and Language. I'm your host, Dr. Turner. And in this class, we'll be taking a deep dive into the writing process. If you've had my Seed 550, Reading and Content Area Literacy, you will know that that class focuses on writing as a way of comprehending, using writing as a tool for learning. In this class, we're going to extend that to actually using texts in order to learn to write. And in order to do that, we're going to have to think a lot about what writing is, how it happens, how we use language, and how language is acquired. So I hope this class is exciting to you. This is one of my very favorite things, if not my favorite, in this world, is how we communicate with this abstract system of symbols that are letters and words. So, in this class, you're going to do 4 things. First, you're going to demonstrate your understanding of the writing process, including the social factors that either foster writing or inhibit it. So we're going to start right off with some theoretical frameworks. How does language work on a page? Then we're going to move into practice. And during this, you're going to create a genre-based authentic writing assignment. Now that sounds like a mouthful, and it is. You'll see what that is. But you're going to create a writing assessment that has real-world implications, that has real audiences for your students. You're also going to complete one of those for yourself. You, as a writer, are going to complete one of those authentic writing tasks. I'll explain that a little bit more as we get into the modules. And finally, you're going to develop an activity that helps students focus on sentence fluency. You're going to get a lot more information on those 4 things, but basically, that's what I want to be able to see in order to, by the end of this class, really know that you understand writing and writing processing and how to foster writing and language skills in ways that don't damage anybody. Because if anything's taught poorly in schools, and if anything does damage, it is the way we teach and assess writing. So all of that's going to be really important this term. I want to also explain things that I will emphasize. The first will be that I've really emphasize formative assessment. Now, formative assessment is I'm really looking at your ideas as they evolve. I'm not going to grade everything. Now, those 4 things I just mentioned, they'll have grading criteria and all of that. But in order to get to those completed projects, I'm going to have a lot of formative assessment where I just look at what you're doing in the process. By doing that, I'm modeling one of the things that is powerful in writing instruction and in instruction in general, that we don't grade anything, that we pay attention, we see where people are, but we're not always slapping a letter grade on something. Because if you're going to take risks, you can't always have 1 to 5 stars. Sometimes you just need somebody to coach you, right? We're going to talk about why that's important. We're also going to have a big emphasis on discussion, and you're going to see why, because theoretically the way is in which talking and writing are linked cognitively, that's huge. So your discussions aren't just these tired, like, oh, okay, I read the chapter and here's like my spit out the summary. Instead, I'd like you to grapple with things. I'm setting up the modules on purpose so that there's a little tension built in. Finally, there's a real emphasis on authenticity. That means that you don't give tasks that are meaningless, just to give them. So we're going to talk about purpose. We're going to talk about the rhetorical situation and why it matters, the ways in which language production is contested and difficult, and why it's more difficult for your minority students, for students of low socioeconomic backgrounds. So basically, There's so much to get into, and it's so fun. I'm going to take a little bit more of a playful approach in this class. I'm inviting you to do the same insofar as you're comfortable. Really come up, feel free to try something that's maybe a little loony if you want. Just hit me up, say, do you think this would work? So, I mean, you can always play it safe. You can always lift something off the rack or the internet, but I'm really very much interested in your creative process as a human being and as a teacher. So, with that in mind, if at any point you start to get nervous, you just let me know. I am most interested in fostering your own creative expression and helping you understand how to help students do that themselves. That is my biggest thing. It's not about clobbering you about your own use of language. Yes, sometimes if it's a formal thing, I might look at your grammar, but mostly I'm looking at your ideas. So definitely keep in touch. I am very much looking forward to your work this term.